Hello everyone and welcome back to Animation Pilgrimage, where Sean and I take a look at every single theatrically released animated film in chronological order. I'm Tennille.
And I'm Sean, and today we are looking at another E.G. Trinka film. We are watching The Good Soldier, Svejk?
I'm not quite sure how to say this name. They said it a few times in the movie, but it was still, it's hard to really grasp what they're saying.
Part of the reason it was hard to grasp is because there was a dub on top of the dub.
Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get to watch this one in its original language. It was instead a dub of Russian, I think?
Sure.
That we listened to, and then
it is a different European.
Subbed in with English subtitles. So that was interesting. This is unfortunately probably the last time we're going to be looking at a E.G. Trinka film, so we actually covered two things of his, because everybody who is familiar with Trinka's stuff really highly recommended we watch The Hand. So we also watched The Hand and this film because it's likely going to be the last time we look at Trinka's stuff, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, because I've really enjoyed this guy's stop motion work. That being said, if you're watching this in chronological order, there is still at least one more movie after this.
I'm pretty sure we covered Midsummer Night's Dream after this one, if you're watching in order. So yeah, I really always recommend E.G. Trinka stuff. I really recommend The Hand. Not so much the actual film we watched today. It's charming. I still think it's got a lot of charming animation and stuff, but this one just didn't grab me personally.
Okay. It's a different sort of film from most of the other stuff he's done. It's a more contemporary, I would say, comedy, because it's based on a book, a well-known Czechoslovakian book.
I think so. Yes.
I would. Yeah. They're in Czech. They're in Czech.
Yes.
The characters are in Czech in the story.
Yeah. And I would assume that this is not based off of some other country and then brought over here, because that seems to defeat the purpose. Because this is all very much about praising the Czech military and stuff like that. And going into a little bit of history on this film, I think it's very fitting that we also watch The Hand with this movie, because this was a film essentially commissioned by the government that Trinka had to make.
Yeah, because it's all about how their government and their military is great. And this movie...
It's got nice, colorful characters in it.
Like...
Svejk.
Who is a bit of a dim-witted soldier, but...
Also charming.
He's a charming character because he doesn't catch on that everyone hates him.
Yeah.
Because he's the kind of character that is just going to sit there and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and everyone else is like, oh my god, shut up.
How can I get away from this guy?
Because they're all like, I don't want to deal with this guy.
Interestingly enough, by the way, this film was given to us by Redway 2. Thank you, Redway 2.
Yes.
Redway 2 also told me that apparently this was a film that wasn't actually a film. It was 3 separate shorts put together to be a movie. Which I find surprising, because the overall plot seemed fairly... Cohesive.
But now that you say that, it's oh, yeah, no, I could see, the 3 segments of it.
The 3 different segments, yeah. But it does have, a through line through the whole thing.
Yeah. So I guess a brief plot, I guess, is it starts off with Svejk at a train station with other military people, and there's some commanding officer there that's really getting on his butt, and he doesn't like it. But his other actual direct commanding officer is like, hey, you should sneak over to that Jewish guy over there and buy some illegal liquor for me. And Svejk is like, well, you are my commanding officer, so I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
And then he does it, but the other guy sees him do it, and he's like, so Svejk has to pretend, oh no, it's just water. And so he has to drink the entire bottle of liquor, some sort of hard liquor. It's not just like a beer or something like that.
Right. It's some liquor that, yet again, because this is a very kind of pseudo-propaganda-y film, it's a Czech liquor.
Mm-hmm. And also, I don't know anything about liquor, so I don't know, like, how strong
this is. I'm going to assume he just downed a bottle of whiskey.
Or something similar. Yeah. So he downs the whole thing, and then he's forced to walk around, and then it's like, oh yeah, no, it was just water. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, see, he fools the one guy, but he doesn't end up getting the booze for his commanding officer.
And his commanding officer's like, cool. Thanks. So the next segment is they're actually on a train now, going forward, and he's just there being obnoxious and talking and talking and talking and talking. And
telling stories.
Telling stories, and his commanding officer is just like, oh my god, shut up. Go patrol the train or something.
Yeah, anything. But he also, staying here with me.
Yeah, he offends the guy that is in the car with his commanding officer, who is actually like some supreme general guy who's in disguise.
Right.
So that was highly embarrassing for the other guy. And then Svejk accidentally pulls the emergency stop lever on the train. And because he does that, his commanding officer decides he's not going to help him out when they get to the next station and he's pulled off by the police. Because he pulled the lever and stuff. So, commanding officer leaves him in a random town, Czechoslovakia. And Svejk, because he's finally found innocent, because he's just kind of an idiot and wouldn't realize what he was doing.
Right.
They let him go, and he's like, well, I gotta find my way back to my
battalion or
my
whatever.
battalion and stuff. So he just starts walking across Czechoslovakia, and like he goes in like this weird roundabout path. It's like, oh, he's not going anywhere.
Right.
Eventually, he finds himself in this random town where the chief of police finds him and thinks that he's a Russian spy.
Yeah.
Because this takes place during World War I.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is like this is definitely like this is a wartime film.
Right. Wasn't made in wartime. It was made
No. 1960.
But whenever this book was
55.
written, it was meant to reflect
it was
World War I times.
Yeah. So he's brought in by this guy who his tactics are all about persuading and sweet-talking the person into confessing, not actually like torturing them or anything. And so Svejk is completely unaware of what's going on and just like, oh yeah, these are my answers and this is what I'm doing. And the guy gets the complete wrong impression. He's like, he's a deep undercover spy. He's really good and he knows the Czech language so well and all of this stuff.
Right.
So...
I mean, this movie is, like, the circumstances surrounding everything is pretty amusing.
Honestly, this final section I found was more amusing than either
the other two.
The other two.
Yeah.
Eventually... Svejk is taken to like the local city to be turned into like the actual like authority, like the actual like state authorities or
the military.
Yeah, turn into the full military, not just the sheriff.
Right.
But the random police officer, I guess, sent with him is like, hey, on the way, that way we just go like hit up a couple bars and this is great. Let's hit up another bar on the way, and they just keep doing that until the guy is like super drunk, and Svejk is perfectly fine.
Right. He can hold his liquor.
Yes. So he has to like drag him along. And they eventually get there. And the military officer, whoever it is that they take him to, is like, dude, you're drunk. While you're on the clock, you're getting thrown in jail yourself. Now you're very clearly not a Russian spy. Where are you supposed to be? And so he gets him back to his battalion, where his commanding officer is waiting for some woman to appear. And he set up like this nice romantic dinner and stuff. And then who walks in the door but
Svejk. Yeah, and he's like, oh no, I thought I got rid of this guy.
And he just like passes out or something.
Yeah.
And the movie ends.
I really don't have a whole lot to say about this. Like, it's Trinka. I love the animation. The characters are charming. The story is pretty charming. But out of all of Trinka's films, I'd probably watch any others before I would watch this one again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we could find a version that didn't have the different dub on top of it, it would probably...
make it more enjoyable for
make
us.
it yeah.
Also, what's amusing about this is that actually this is one of Trinka's lesser known films because it's one that he didn't himself have a whole lot of like passion behind. And apparently a few years after this was released, there was a live action version of the book created.
Oh.
Which is considered like a lot more popular to most people.
Yeah,
which is interesting. And then also in like 1968, I want to say, there was a TV show
about this guy as well?
About the characters that use the same puppets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's super neat.
So most people don't actually end up knowing this film. They end up knowing either the live action movie or the book or the show with the puppets, but not this movie.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And then, I guess to move on to The Hand. The Hand is really interesting. Like I said, pretty good fit with this movie in particular. Because the plot summary for The Hand is that it's a 17-minute short made in 1965. So this is 10 years after the movie we watched.
Yes.
And it's about an artist who is a ceramic artist who is trying to
pottery.
He's trying to make some pottery because he wants a pot for his flower to grow in. But a hand keeps knocking at his... The hand.
Of authority.
Yeah, keeps knocking at his door and busting through his window and shattering his other pottery and keeps coming in and demanding that the artist make art of the hand.
No. Come work for the government. We'll shower you with money. We'll give you gifts. We'll give you women. We'll give you whatever you want as long as you do what we want.
As long as you do our art.
Do art of only us, the hand. And your life will be great here in this puppet cage.
It's a very good short.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, I definitely know why people recommended this one to us. I think it's considered one of Trinka's best works and something he's known the most for because...
Also is controversial and banned in his own country.
Well, yeah, because it was...
Anti-government.
Anti-government and communist at the time. So... Very, very interesting. I would highly recommend people check this one out. Because like I said, it's only 17 minutes. It's a great way to check out Trinka's work and see if it's something that will interest you as a whole. Because, this is like our last time to really say it, but like Trinka's become one of my favorite directors that we found.
Yeah. Like, because before we started this journey, I didn't know who this guy was.
Nope.
Didn't know any of his work.
Yeah.
And now that we're done looking at all of his stuff, I'm sad to see it go.
Yeah. And I'll be so happy if we can find more of his stuff in the future.
But, like, unfortunately, he died soon after The Hand came out in 65. So there's not much, there isn't really anything after that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it. So,
thank you all for joining us, and we've got one more
one more catch-up film.
One more catch-up film to look at.
1968, Adam 2.
Adam 2. Okay, cool. So yeah, join us back here for that. See you guys next time.